I think you're actually going to find that you see more success if you just stay authentic to yourself and just create content that you like and that you want to create and not have to worry about everything that everyone else is doing. If you can stay authentic and create content that you like, your audience is going to resonate with that. When I literally just whip out my camera and start filming whatever is on my mind, as opposed to something pre-planned or that I knew I was going to talk about, those videos always perform the best.
This podcast is brought to you by Penji. Penji is a creative subscription service that gives you access to pre-vetted, agency-trained creatives from all over the world. From graphic design to illustrations to social media management and web development, it's all included for one monthly price. It's time to say goodbye to the hassle of searching for top-notch creative talent. With Penji, you get quality and consistency delivered right to your inbox every day, carefully crafted for you by humans. So meet your new creative team today. Head over to penji.co for more and enter the coupon code located within the podcast show notes.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the First 100 podcast. This is the podcast where we're going to be exploring the journey of entrepreneurs, business owners, agency leaders, and so many more interesting people as they share with us the strategies, the challenges, and the triumphs that have led them to secure those first 100 customers, first 100 followers, first 100. I'm your host, Daniela, and let's go check this out.
Today, we are joined with a very special guest, Kelsey Vetter. She is one of our influencers. She's worked with us in the past. And we wanted to have her on today to talk about her journey as an influencer. Hi, Kelsey. How are you doing?
Hey, Daniela. I'm good. Thank you for having me.
It's great to have you. So for starters, why don't we talk about a little bit about what your past with us is and your platform as an influencer for those who are listening that might not know about you or what they need to know.
Yeah, of course. So my name is Kelsey Vetter. I have a Pinterest marketing agency called Kelsey Vetter Co. And it's actually kind of funny to hear you call me an influencer because I'm really a business owner first and a content creator second. Kind of my journey into influencing or content creation really was to promote my business and still is. It is to promote my business. So I kind of fell into the social media world and creating content simply to promote my business. But I have a Pinterest marketing agency. That is my bread and butter. That is what I create all of my content around. And I help online businesses leverage the power of Pinterest to generate leads, get sales, make affiliate sales, and grow their audience on autopilot.
Nice. So you said your focus is on Pinterest, right?
Yes.
How did you end up going into Pinterest opposed to other social media networks? Especially because I think right now platforms like TikTok and Instagram are the ones that are popping the most. What made you want to focus on Pinterest?
Yeah, so I have a background in corporate marketing. I worked in corporate marketing and sales for about 10 years before starting my own business just about 3.5 years ago, early 2021. And I actually kind of organically fell into the Pinterest marketing world. I knew I wanted to start my own business, knew I wanted to leverage those marketing skills from my corporate roles, but wasn't sure exactly how to do that. And at the time I had an Etsy shop and was learning Pinterest marketing to promote my own Etsy shop. And kind of was like, well, I don't really love doing this Etsy e-commerce thing. I really like doing this Pinterest marketing thing. How can I turn this into a business and help other online business owners grow their business with Pinterest? So that's really how I got started. And I've just kind of grown organically ever since.
Nice. I think Pinterest is the type of platform that's very slept on. I think nowadays I think people are more, I've seen where people talk about Pinterest and using Pinterest as like a social media and like promoting yourself there. But I think for a lot of time, I feel like Pinterest has been around for a long time and people usually use it for like as a search engine more than anything else, right?
Yeah, that's one of the things I love the most about Pinterest is that it's actually not a social media platform at all. So social media has really never been something that I've loved. I really like TikTok and creating content on there, but Instagram, I knew I didn't want to go social media marketing route or become a social media manager because that was just not in my wheelhouse. But Pinterest exactly is very slept on, and especially now with so many algorithm changes on social media. And I know there's a lot of frustration there with online businesses of my content's not being seen by anybody, or I hear from a lot of my clients who are content creators that if I don't post a reel every single day, my sales suffer, my views suffer, etc. So Pinterest is a search and discovery platform where a lot of people overlook it because they think that they just don't realize that it is a tool to grow your business and that there's such a large audience on there shopping. It's a shopping forward platform. And it really is a place where your content can last longer. So on social media, content lasts maybe a day, or if not, a couple hours. But on Pinterest, your content, because it is that search engine, once your content starts to rank and be found at the top of search, it will stay there for years to come. And it can drive traffic to your website, to your affiliate links, to your social media, wherever you're driving traffic for literally years to come. Several of my clients' top performing pins are from 6 months ago, a year ago, 2 years ago, etc. So it's really a place where your content has a much longer shelf life, which is why a lot of my content creator clients and just online business owner clients love it, because your content, you don't have to pump out as much content and show up every single day like you do on social media. It's another reason that I love it as well.
Yeah, I mean, the point that you touched on social media being so unstable is like a really big, I think that we're seeing a lot with influencers, and even us as like a business, we're affected by it, right? Because we are sort of running influencer campaigns and doing influencer marketing and all of these people, and then things are changing, and then the videos that we want them to make are no longer viable for us. The amount that you have to pay is no longer the amount that, they were charging before. Your budget needs to like sort of adjust. I think, as you said, the good thing about Pinterest being a search engine is that really when I use it, I just Google hairstyle ideas, and then I might get a video from like 2015, but it's still a hairstyle.
It's relevant. Yeah, exactly. Your content is evergreen. It's going to last, and it's going to continue to show up and drive traffic to your site. That's another one of the main reasons I love Pinterest, is because on social media, you're really, especially even with collaboration videos, you're relying on someone to navigate to your bio, click the link in your bio, head to your website, figure that out. And it's a lot of steps to get them to take the action you want. But on Pinterest, you just click directly from a pin, you land on a page, a sales page, a web page, a product page for a checkout, etc. Users are conditioned to click from that pin and land wherever you want them to sign up for your email list, etc. So it's a lot more direct process to get people to take the action that you want. Whereas on social media, again, you're like asking someone to click the link in your bio, hoping that they don't get lost on the way. Yeah. My mom, she literally is like, I don't ever know what link in bio means. I'm like, oh my gosh, okay. So then there's that, depending on who your ideal audience is. So yeah, that's one of the reasons I love Pinterest. It's this more direct traffic, and content lasts longer. You don't have to show up as consistently. It's just the best.
Yeah. So you mentioned that your marketing agency is focused on helping businesses promote their, market their own businesses through Pinterest, right?
Yeah.
How did you end up having your own sort of Pinterest-based agency? How did that come to be? Where you said you were doing corporate before?
That is doing corporate marketing. And then started that Etsy shop, was kind of learning Pinterest to promote that, realized I really like this Pinterest thing. It works a lot like my brain. It's like half creative, half analytical. You definitely need a knowledge about marketing and a marketing sense, but then you also need to understand data and write strategies, etc. So that was really just fun for me. I enjoyed that, and honestly, my business really grew organically and kind of started very organically. I decided that I'm going to go all in and start this company and see how it works. And really just talking about what I was doing landed me my first few clients, a lot of networking. And from there, it's just grown. I was obviously marketing myself on social media. Have a lot of my business comes from referrals from past clients or present clients. So that's just kind of how it grew.
That's nice. I think for us as well, a lot of our I wouldn't say like all of it, but I think we do get a fair amount of clientele from referrals. I think there's this is also a really big thing when you are running a business, is that people sort of recommending your service to others is really valuable.
Totally.
We focus a lot on the social media aspect nowadays because it's what's like, the most popular thing. And we forget all of these other smaller little avenues, like people referring you, friends and family, websites, things along those lines, right?
Totally. Yeah. I mean, social media, you have to have a presence. And in this day and age, if you're not on social media, it's kind of a red flag, honestly, for a business. But there are so many other ways that I do think a lot of people overlook, like networking and referrals. I pretty early on in my business set up a referral program to give current clients a discount if they would refer people to me. And then a lot of online business groups and networking and meeting with people. And a lot of my clients from 3 years ago when I first started and was really heavily networking are still with me today or still referring people to me today. So don't overlook networking and referrals if you are a new online business owner or a new business owner or even creator of any kind.
Yeah, definitely. We have our own sort of referral program as well with our affiliates. You are part of it, right?
Yep.
And it's very similar, and we rely on it a lot, because you never know who you might run into that might need your specific service.
Literally, my very first client, I was sitting in the salon chair getting my hair done, and I was telling the owner of the salon, I just started this Pinterest marketing business, and she hired me the next day. You literally never know. It's all about speaking about what you do, brand awareness. It's something I talk about with Pinterest as well. A lot of people focus so heavily on Instagram and TikTok, but cross-platform marketing and showing up everywhere, although that can feel very overwhelming for people, really is super important. I have a client who has a pretty large Instagram following, but we've been marketing her business on Pinterest for a while. And actually, she's a small business owner with apparel. And Anthropologie recently found her products on Pinterest, reached out to her, and now carries her products in their store because they found her on Pinterest. So you just never know, even though she has this huge social media following, really showing up on all of those platforms and cross-platform marketing and just getting your brand out there and overall brand awareness is super important.
Yeah, you never know where you might find success. Like, I think people focus, like you said, a lot on Instagram and TikTok, and then they forget that, like, you might do really well on Facebook, right?
Yeah, exactly. It's all about your ideal audience and showing up where they are. And if that's exactly on Facebook, maybe that's on YouTube, maybe it's Pinterest, but if you can show up where they're hanging out, that's going to be a huge benefit.
Even if it sounds unconventional, right? Because like with things like Facebook nowadays, but you might be really good.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So you also spoke about how you were doing Etsy, right? How did you decide to transition from Etsy to your own business? Or how did Etsy help you with everything that you're doing now?
Yeah, so I worked in the apparel industry. My marketing and sales background was in the apparel industry in Los Angeles. And so e-commerce and online apparel and that kind of thing was just kind of what I knew. So I decided, oh, I know how to do this. I'll start an Etsy and, kind of transition away from corporate, but use my skills and leverage my skills. But I just realized that it was just an industry I didn't want to be in anymore. I wanted to get far away. I wanted to stick with marketing, but get far away from e-commerce, doing it myself at least. So really just learning Pinterest to promote that. And I realized that I would love to help other Etsy business owners or Shopify owners do this marketing for themselves, because I think that is a big piece. A lot of times, someone who's really creative or really great at creating products isn't always good at that marketing piece. And so I saw a need for some of my skills. And that's kind of how I fell into this and ditched the Etsy thing.
Interesting. Yeah. And how did you also fall into the social media part? The influencer, you said you're more of like a business owner first and then a creator after, but we obviously know you as a creator. So
Yes.
How did that happen?
Yeah, well, it was just one of those things that I knew, like I just said earlier, you have to show up on TikTok or Instagram or it's kind of a red flag as a business owner. So I started promoting my business, first on Instagram and then eventually on TikTok, which now that's where my main audience is and where I prefer to create is on TikTok. But it really started, actually, I was in an online business group when I first started my business. And I think there was a challenge, like post every day on TikTok for 30 days. And that really got me comfortable showing up on camera and teaching about Pinterest marketing, which is what I love to talk about and what I like to do. And that's really how my audience started growing. And now I create content, and that's kind of another just pillar of my business and helps me grow. And I love it.
Yeah, no, I mean, we found you as a creator. I think your presence is very very up to date with what's going on right now. So I wouldn't have initially guessed that, you're, I wouldn't say a priority, but the second thing in your development is your social media, because it looks like you focus a lot on it.
Thank you. Yeah, I do focus a lot on it. In an effort to grow my business, but sometimes business and client work always come first. So sometimes I feel like, I'm neglecting TikTok a little bit. I don't have time to make a video because I'm a service provider at the end of the day, and that takes a lot of my time. But my business would absolutely not be where it was today if it wasn't for the community I've built on social media. And I love it. And I get a lot of good feedback about people who view my content and it resonates with them and they're interested in learning more about Pinterest or had no idea that Pinterest could help them grow their business. So yeah, I've kind of just fell into the content creator influencer thing, and it's its own separate thing, but really as an avenue to growing my business, promoting my business.
That happens a lot too, because I mean, I'm not a content creator, but I think I had a similar situation where I fell into that without noticing, because I made it. This was in like 2021. I made a random TikTok, and I made a TikTok of me glamping, but it was really just like, you do it for fun.
Yep.
The video went viral, and a bunch of people were like commenting, like, "Where is it? Where is it? Why are you putting where it is? Why aren't you giving your production?" And I was like, because I had like 2 videos before that. They were super silly and they had like 10 views. Anybody would see this. So it's more just like for myself.
Exactly.
And then I was like, wow, like I was very overwhelmed. And then experimentally, I posted like a couple other videos in the sort of similar light. Like I went to a restaurant. I recorded myself in the restaurant because I wanted to see. And people were like watching my videos. Like I think for like a solid 2 or 3 videos, I was like, why are there so many people like waiting for my recommendations? Because I wasn't even like trying to do anything. I had just posted one video of me glamping, and then I was like, wow, I'm an influencer now.
I feel like that's all the best content creators get started. Like, I didn't think anybody would see that, and then there you go, you're an influencer now.
Yeah, but I mean, I didn't continue because obviously, like, it was taxing for me to like plan trips just to make videos.
Yeah, I know that.
Expensive, but I do kind of like understand what you mean when you say it kind of just happens and you're just like blindsided one day. You wake up and your phone's blowing up, and you're like, okay.
Yeah, I know. After that first viral video, you're like, oh my goodness, that was crazy.
Yeah, I still get notifications for that video. Like, day that I posted that video in 2021 or 2020, and I still have people tagging each other about like going to the camping site, and I'm like, well, they should pay me, if we had.
Should reach out to them, try and sell that video.
Nah, it's fine. But yeah, I do understand what you mean. We do also get a lot of creators that talk about that. And I think another interesting thing that we sort of speak to creators about once they've already established themselves is the pressure that they start to feel to post all the time, to post all of the trending audios, all of the trending, videos and things that are happening, and sort of stay up to date. And then they start to sort of feel burnout, especially with people like you who have other things on the side, right? Because we also work with people who are like full-time influencers and who have no problem with that, because they can like sort of direct all of their attention towards social media and growing that platform. But with people who have other businesses and other priorities, I see that pattern of a lot of overwhelmness, of them being like, oh my God, I have like all of this, right? How do you manage that?
Totally. I think that took some coming to terms with when I realized that clients come first, client work comes first, my business comes first. I have to focus on that. I totally went through a period where I was like, oh no, I have to post every day, or I didn't post for 3 days. This is bad kind of thing. But it's really just a mindset switch of my business is going to be okay. My audience is going to be okay if I don't post for 3 days. That's completely fine. I have to take care of what I need to take care of first. This content creation thing is kind of my second priority, and you really just have to come to terms with that being okay. And for me also, I think I don't really do a lot of, I try and just not focus on like the trends or the trending audios. Luckily my content is really just educational and informational. So I get to focus on just teaching and speaking, and I don't really need to work with trends, or it's just not something that I was ever interested in or aligned with. And I feel like your content really should be reflective of who you are as a person. And if you are just trying to keep up with trends or create trending audios or whatever, just because you feel like that's what you have to do to see success on TikTok or Instagram, I think you're actually going to find that you would see more success if you just stay authentic to yourself and just create content that you like and that you want to create, and not have to worry about everything that everyone else is doing. And I find that if you can like stay authentic and create content that you like, your audience is going to resonate with that. And don't put so much pressure on yourself to stay up with all the trends. Obviously that can help, but it's okay to just create what you want to create. And I think that takes a lot of pressure off of creating. And also, again, your audience, I found that when I literally just whip out my camera and start filming whatever is on my mind, as opposed to something pre-planned or that I knew I was going to talk about, those videos always perform the best.
Yeah, I think authenticity, right, is a really big factor.
Yeah.
Too many people are sort of trying to emulate what they've seen be successful in other people, opposed to trying to find success within themselves.
Yeah, and that can become really stressful. I think that comparison thing, I think that's where people get really burnt out and overwhelmed. So just kind of taking a step back, creating content that feels authentic, and understanding that it's okay if you don't post 3 videos a day just because some TikTok coach said you need to, or even if you need to take a couple-day break or take a week off, that's okay. Your audience is not going to go anywhere. They're not even going to notice that you didn't post for a couple days.
Yeah, especially on TikTok. Like, it's not like they're like waiting every day to like
right
what your profile is going to have.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. The other question that I wanted to ask you, the last one, is what was the turning point for you to grow on social media? Was it like there was this one viral video that sort of catapulted you into like, making more videos that were successful, or was it more of like a linear type thing where you just like slowly started to see success in your videos?
Yeah, I would say it was pretty gradual. I had my first viral video probably maybe like 6 months after I started posting on TikTok, and that really kind of started it and was like a snowball effect after that, and really did help me kind of establish a following, and I was able to, I feel like, grow a little bit easier from there. But it's definitely been very gradual, very organic. I wouldn't say that there was like one turning point that changed everything for me. My first viral video obviously was really exciting and definitely helped me lay that foundation and start building an audience. But I've been creating content now for like 3 years, and I think it's been a very gradual, steady growth. And for me, building an audience and building a community rather of people who actively engage with multiple of my videos and a lot of my content, and then we end up working together, that's what's been important to me, simply because of my goals of how I'm using social media to grow my business. So I think that gradual growth for me has been great. So I'm not like, you don't have that pressure of like, oh no, I had this one really viral video and now I have to recreate that success every single time. Which can also be stressful, but it's been, really gradual growth that I've been just really happy with. I'm really grateful for the audience that I've built.
Yeah, and I mean, your content is great. We love it. I like your advice too. Like, Penji, a lot of really interesting things where I'm just like, that's good. That's good. Right?
Yeah, it's important to me. There's a lot of people in the online business space on TikTok, and specifically that talk about Pinterest, that spread misinformation or that kind of just talk about getting rich quick and here's how you just do Pinterest to get rich overnight and make affiliate, whatever that is. And it's always been very important to me to be very truthful and be very honest and kind of go against the grain when it comes to those types of videos. And I get a lot of feedback on that from my audience, that they feel like my account, I've heard that it's a safe space, or that they really appreciate my honesty and transparency. So that's been really important for me, and something that I really focus on when creating content is that honesty piece, that truthfulness, and giving tangible advice that I know really works, because this is my full-time job and that is what I do all the time, is Pinterest marketing. And so I know that any advice that I'm going to give is truthful and honest and can genuinely help someone.
Yeah, I think that's one of the most important things that we are looking for when it comes to social media. Especially, well, I specifically think I look up when I'm looking for advice on social media. There's like way too many people who are telling you either the same thing recycled over and over, or they're telling you things that, like, you know, they make no sense. Like, especially the get rich quick people.
Yeah, there's a lot of that. And those videos get views. Like, let's get honest, these get views and they get likes and they get saved. So I know why people create them, but it's just, to me, that's not authentic and not what I want to create. So
I became a millionaire when sleeping.
yeah, literally. Or like you said, it's just recycled content. The amount of videos that I've heard, I make $5,000 from Pinterest every single month. Like, that's the intro. Or they show no proof, or they show no screenshots or anything like that. It just all sounds the same. It's like, okay.
Yeah. Well, it's been great talking to you. You've said some really cool things. Just to close everything up, I wanted to ask if there is anything that you're working on that you want to promote, or if you want to tell us or the people watching or listening where they can find you on social media, so that they can go to your platform, see what you're about.
Yeah, of course. So you can find me on Instagram and TikTok at Kelsey Vetter Co. Or you can visit my website, which is kelseyvetter.com. I have lots of different services, kind of something for everybody, regardless of where you are on your Pinterest marketing journey. If you just want to get started and learn a little bit about how Pinterest can help your business or help you grow your social media, etc., there's something for that, all the way up to full-time management for business owners who want to kind of outsource that. So you can check me out there.
Awesome, everybody. You can check her out on all of those socials. I will be adding them to the videos so that people watching can go and see. And that's it for today. I'll see you guys in the next episode. Have a great day.
You've been listening to First 100, brought to you by Penji. Check out the show notes to learn more about today's guest, and to learn more about Penji's creative subscription service, head over to penji.co. That's penji.co. Oh, and if you're still listening, it would mean the absolute world to us if you were to share this podcast with a friend, and of course, subscribe.